This week's episode of Here's What I Don't Get is brought to you in part by the Scum Stream. That's right. Visit patreon.com/thecreepoff or visit the Creepoff on back.by or Supercast or whatever other fucking platforms they're using. Because this week I'm going to be on the Scum Stream bonus episodes they do every Wednesday with Trucker Andy. We're going to be talking about creeps and scum people and, you know, anything else that comes to mind. So if you want to check that out, go visit our friends over there. It's, Vinny and Andy. And then there's like another guy who's fuck. Welcome back to Here's What I Don't Get, from north to south, east to west, the only intercontinental podcast to tackle all of life's toughest issues, and the longest consecutively running and the longest YouTube podcast on the See You Next Tuesday podcast network. I am your host, Ted Burt. With me today, my friend, Tim the Handlebreaker. Welcome back, Tim.
How's it going?
Going well. Holy shit. Your video and your audio were delayed, and then my AC kicked on at like the same time.
I
was
heard
descending into a level of hell.
Event Horizon 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Oh boy, it's going pretty good. I have a gig on Thursday assisting a professional glassblower. How fucking cool is that?
That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm skipping work to do it because there is fuck all to do. We're less than 1 week away from this massive renovation. Found out today that everything that the rigging company has been telling us has been lies, and that when they said
even longer than they thought.
When they said ETC was holding a production window for us to be able to make the equipment that we're ordering, what they meant was ETC is holding all of our products because we don't pay any of our fucking bills. And I was like, ah! This afternoon, it was awesome.
Yeah.
So this shoehorned in little renovation's gonna start, and the company's not telling the general contractor any of this. They're just like, yeah, everything's great, boss. And I'm hearing this through like the stagehand grapevine in St. Louis, what's actually happening. And it's like, we're going to get to July 1. None of this stuff is going to have been ordered. It's going to be like, they're going to need to delay this for, another month. And we're not going to be able to hit our opening timeline of September 11th.
Yeah.
And so it's going to like fuck
everything. Well, there was your problem in the first place.
That was our problem in the first place. Yeah. So, that's going to be awesome. Like I said in the teaser, I'm going to be on the Scum Stream this week with Vinny Paulino and Trucker Andy and Carl. We were featured as a Cringe of the Week, apparently recently. I haven't listened to that episode of WATP yet. Or at least if I did, I might have bailed early because they did 45 fucking minutes about why Steven Crowder's a piece of shit without actually getting to playing any clips of his show. And it was like, wow, this is insanely boring, Carl. It's really become like a Entertainment Tonight style drama podcast. Steven Crowder had a fight with his wife. Who could possibly fucking care? And when it's not that, it's about Chad Zumock, who is aggressively uninteresting. So I'd like to submit as Cringe of the Week the 2 weeks that Carl said that he was not going to talk about Chad Zumock, and then proceeded to talk about Chad Zumock on literally every fucking show he was on.
Exclusively.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go. Fuck you, Carl. Team Vinny, People's Champ, Vinny Winnie. That's where I'm officially siding, even though I don't have a Reddit, so I don't vote. What about you, Tim? How is life on the road treating you?
So. The road is a fickle mistress. Sometimes you get the good exit row seating, but it's hampered because your work buddy has the window seat and you've got the aisle seat.
Yeah.
And then like 5 minutes before you board, someone gets that middle seat that was empty beforehand. And that guy is
The fattest man on earth.
50% taller and fatter than you and I combined.
Holy shit.
He was a big dude and did not care. Like
When he walked on the plane, did you go, "That's a huge bitch"?
Yeah, and I followed up with it. I hope he doesn't sit next to me. Oh shit, he did. And he could have used a shower.
Oh,
So
come
that
on,
was-
man. Get fucking have some decorum at least.
That was 2.5 hours of fun. So my knee is getting banged by the drink thing, and then my right hand's all smushed up against Fatso. Yeah.
That sucks. Yeah, on my
Yeah.
flight back from Philly, a fat black woman sat next to me. I mean,
Mhm.
sorry, a fat person of size and color or whatever fucking didn't buckle her seatbelt the entire flight.
Weird.
We're on the bulkhead. You're not allowed to have anything in the bulkhead.
Yeah.
But she sits down and she tries to take her big ass roller bag and tuck it under her fucking feet.
That's not how that works.
And the flight attendant comes, he's like, "You can't put that there."
Yeah.
and then there was a big argument, and I was like, "Please just move. Please move. I don't
Yeah.
want to sit next to you for the next 2 hours." She did not move. People watching on YouTube may think I'm a little more red-faced than normal. I walked around outside with no sunscreen on all day Monday after spending most of the weekend riding around the area. Speaking of how the road is a fickle mistress.
Uh-huh.
So Friday, I did an oil change on my bike, cleaned the air filter out, and then while I was doing that, I discovered that the air filter housing was not like properly attached to the intake manifold. It had been like flex sealed together for some fucking reason. Well, the some fucking reason is something is not attached correctly. I can't figure out what yet. And so the manifold and the air filter housing like don't quite line up. They're like 10% off.
Yeah.
So I was able to muscle it into place to get it to seal correctly. And then I played with the pilot valve on the carburetor to get more fuel in so that I'd stop having afterfire. And holy shit, Friday afternoon, my bike is running better than it's ever run. Like I'm getting really great
nice.
power. I'm hitting 60 miles an hour in like third gear. I'm fucking feeling really good. Saturday morning, I get up and there's like a swap meet / motorcycle show down in Festus, which is like half an hour south. And I was like, I'll take a cruise on down to Festus and check out this swap meet. Well, the swap meet was like one guy selling motorcycle shit, and then a bunch of really nice and clean looking Harleys, and that was the bike show. It's like, all right. And I wasn't gonna enter. Like I just wanted to check some stuff
Go
out.
check it out. Yeah.
So I spent like half an hour there, and I was like, all right, well, this blows. I'm gonna go do something else. So I decided to take a state highway back home, which would like take about an hour. And I'm about a third of the way home, and I come over these railroad tracks. And as I like crest the railroad tracks, I see that I'm right in line with like some fucking big hole that my taxes were supposed to have paid for at some point in the past.
Yeah. Yeah.
I rammed that, ended up standing up in the seat, rammed that, and the whole fucking bike goes shaking. Well, in that, it knocks the air filter housing off of the seal.
Yeah.
So that can't quite get that sealed up, and it starts running like shit. Like I can't get above 50 miles an hour. I end up figuring out that if I reach down and work the choke as in ratio to the gears, I can like get up to 60. So I'm like, man, I could try and fix this, and then the sky starts turning black because here comes a gigantic storm. I'm like, I gotta race this fucking storm home. So I'm riding, trying to like hold pieces of the bike together while riding, fucking pull in the garage. And it just starts like straight down rain. And I was like, fucking nailed it. And then I went in and took my bike into work today and took it into the scene shop. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to try and fix this manifold. And I just taped the air filter housing into the manifold with a bunch of actual duct tape.
Yeah.
We'll see if that works. It ran really well on the ride home. So I like fixing things.
Fixing things is fun, man.
Yeah, your next episode, everybody should get hyped in like 5 weeks. Your next episode, 342, was that the one we decided?
I think so. Yeah.
342 is going to be an in-person show for
In
the first
person.
time in like a year, almost
Yeah.
a year. It's been since
Crazy.
July. Yeah.
Crazy.
Tim's coming up to St. Louis. I
Yep.
think you should probably get a gun between now and then.
All right,
Probably a
all right,
safe bet.
all right.
Yeah.
When do I get my pack of smokes?
I'll buy you one.
Okay.
When I pick you up from the airport, I'll have my pack already, of course, and then there'll be one on the seat for you.
Get to smoking.
You better, yeah. You hit the city limits. There's actually a welcome center on the city limits. If you go in there and you're like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be driving around St. Louis," they're like, "All right, here's a box of ammunition and your pack of smokes." And you're like, "All right, thanks, appreciate it."
Yeah, I'm super excited for that. That's gonna be real fun.
It will be a lot of fun. Well, you ready to hop into some issues?
Let's do it.
What is your first issue this week, Tim?
Here's what I don't get: swamps, and why people won't stay out of mine.
Look, okay.
No. So this is just this is basically the Florida don't get redux.
Okay.
Because look, I think it's, you can take someone's word for it, but until you until you experience it firsthand, there is no way to describe the level of suck that Florida has. I went to Florida and I was there for about a week. It was absolutely miserable the entire time. And I'm just talking about the weather. Like everything else about Florida, unrelated.
Mm-hmm.
It's someone cranked Florida to 300% humidity and left it there, and it's awful.
Florida is like a hot yoga studio, but the whole
Yes.
state.
In fact, like I got home and we had like a flash flood. It lasted like 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Super intense. It's 85 degrees outside. Afterwards, like there's no more rain falling, and I'm like, this is about half as humid as Florida.
Yeah.
It's the worst thing in the world.
Humidity is like, there's the saying is, it's not the heat, it's the humidity.
Yeah.
But like really an 80-degree day with like 20% humidity and an 80-degree day with 40% humidity is the difference between being like, this is hot and I want to kill myself.
And just like my brother goes through the same thing. So my brother lives in Salt Lake, which is a desert.
Mm-hmm.
So when he comes home to a place that is mildly humid, he walks out of the airport and he gets like smacked in the face with it. Like, oh
Yeah.
God, that's right, I forgot about this. That happened to me in Florida.
Yeah.
Like I thought there was not a big difference because it gets pretty humid here.
Yeah.
But it's like going from welterweight to super heavyweight in boxing. Like, no, I don't like taking base Brian said. So you're saying you don't like taking 4 showers a day? Oh, man, I'm glad I even had a shower. This place I stayed at was so bad.
Yeah.
So I understand it when, like, you know, there's all the articles about Florida man, right? You're like, how could one place like create so many like crazy, wacky criminal stories?
It's the humidity.
It's the humidity. It's literally frying your brain.
Yeah.
It's like that old weed commercial. Like, right, this is your brain
on drugs.
This is your brain on drugs. Like, this is your brain on Florida.
The thing about swamps, though, I watched the Patriot this weekend.
Yeah, you had never seen that.
I had never seen the Patriot. Pretty good movie.
It is
I'd also never seen Braveheart. I watched that afterwards. Pretty boring, poorly paced movie. But the Patriot is, they filmed at this like famous plantation that's in Charleston, South Carolina.
Yeah.
It's also the main setting of the movie The Notebook. And
Never seen it.
I need me either. But a couple of years ago, I guess almost 10 years ago now, I did a wedding at that, whatever that
Okay.
mansion is. I don't
Yeah,
remember the name
yeah.
of it off the top of my head. I guess I could Google it. And so it was like I'm friends with the father of the bride, and it was her like that was her dream thing, was to do it in this to do the wedding at this famous
Southern Mansion. Yeah.
plantation. And so he flew out a band, he flew me out, to take care of, just like fucking fix problems. Boone Hall,
Yeah.
that's what
Yeah.
it is. And so we set up the band. The reception is in the cotton dock, and the cotton dock is like right on the swamp, right?
Uh-huh.
But it's just a wooden box. I ended up stealing one of those like 36-inch circulating fans that's huge and on the
Uh-huh.
big pedestal,
Yeah.
and I just set it. I set it in front of the sound console, and I put my
Nice.
sound console right there in front of it. So I was standing in that breeze all the time when I was at the console.
Mm.
So we're in the cotton dock, which is the hottest place on earth, and we set the band up, and the band guys are all like, all right, you guys need to go shower because you have to be at the wedding, you need to shower because you're only here at the reception. So I'm the last one out. We run back to the Airbnb of one of the band guys because it's closer than our hotel, and shower. And this is, I swear to God, the fastest shower I've ever taken. I mean, like 3 or 4 minute shower,
Yeah.
just enough to knock the sweat off, right?
Army shower. Yeah.
Oh yeah, shower. I throw my clothes on. We're driving back to the venue. I'm like putting my tie on and tying my shoes and putting my belt on in the car. Get dropped off back at the cotton dock while the girl I'm with goes and parks the car so that I can be there to get the pre-show music started as everyone wanders in. I take like 3 steps away out of the car, fucking instantly coated in sweat all over my body. And I was like,
Instant.
what was the point of the fucking shower? It was so fucking humid in Charleston, South Carolina. Like anytime you stepped out of a store or opened the door of your car, your glasses were just like, can't see a fucking thing.
Mm-hmm.
The humidity of these swamp places, it's like, man was not meant to live here.
No.
Why are you here?
No.
Go away. Go find another place to live, please.
Yeah, it's great. Like it really cements to me that Florida is our Australia.
Like that's where we send the prisoners.
That's where we should send the prisoners. That's what Homelessville should be.
No, Homelessville should be in Utah.
Why Utah?
Because fuck Utah. Who the fuck lives in Utah that no one gives a shit about? Nobody. And your brother included. I realized that.
Sure.
Yeah.
No
we have sacrifice have to be made, Tim.
Yeah.
What's crazy to me is people love Florida so much that they like people in New York, Carl, are like, I'm gonna buy a house down in Florida and live there half the year. And I'm like, which half? Because both halves seem miserable.
Yeah. When you get there is when it clicks in your head when you're like, what do I know about Florida? I know like gators, Florida man, meth person, and old people. Like, and you get there and you experience it, and that's when it clicks in your head. Like, click, 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 click. What do I know about old people? They're always cold. Oh, that's why.
They love this. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Florida Gator thing. I saw a video recently of some people like, so in Oklahoma near us in Tulsa, there's the Illinois River, and I think everybody probably has a story of going with their family at some point and floating the Illinois River. You know, you get like a big raft or a canoe, and they drop you off, a couple miles down the river, and then end of the day you wash up back where you started, and you've spent all day like drinking and eating and having a good time. Yeah. Out here, we go down to Cuba, to the Merrimack. You can float the Mississippi, but it kind of sucks. Like the Merrimack is that nice, like slowly floating river thing going on. But I don't. Where was I going with that? Talking about old people and how hot it is and humidity.
Yeah, floating the river.
Fuck, I forgot. I lost my train of thought. I was thinking about how much of a good time I had on the river.
Well, no. Actually, that's a great point. I was going to bring that up next. Is that, I also went on a boat ride.
Yeah.
When I was there, and that was the single best thing about the trip. Because like I mean, there's like the weather thing where like it's colder there,
Mm-hmm.
on the river. It's not quite as hot. You get like spray. Well, you get free booze in my case. You get to see a dolphin.
You were also in Tampa, and Tampa is like this weird fucking place. Tampa and where's the other? Where am I? Orlando. Orlando is
Mhm.
even more so than Tampa. A weird place
Great.
where
I'm going there this year.
where they're landlocked, but they act like they're this tropical beach because you're in Florida. You're like in this tropical beach place, but it's like there's no beach. What the
Yeah.
fuck is happening? Like Orlando was specifically weird because they have there's like a strip kind of near Disneyland, and you
Mhm.
walk it like you would be on the strip of So my family's from Virginia Beach, and there's the strip,
Yeah,
the street that runs right alongside the beach boulevard, Virginia Beach Boulevard, whatever it is, and there's just all these little tchotchke shops selling stupid shit, and all those same shops are on this street in Orlando, but there's no water to be found. It's just hot and miserable.
Well, at least Tampa is close to the Gulf.
Yeah, the Gulf's the shittier body of water, though.
It is.
I mean, Mexico touches the Gulf, so come on. Yeah, the fucking misery of these swamplands and people building stuff in swamps that they shouldn't, and then the shit like sinks and collapses. And
Well, here's the
what
thing,
happened?
dudes. Here's the thing. So I'm working this event, and I don't know. I don't know why anyone would plan this way, but the event is inside, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So like 8 a.m. people show up in a building that is air conditioned to do stuff, and then at lunchtime, despite there being ample place to sit and eat and serve food, they're like, why don't we serve lunch and eat lunch outside? In the at noon, the point where the sun is right there, and we'll have white seats and white tables. So you've got a plate of hot food, and we're gonna and also we're gonna serve not like we're gonna serve
nice,
food that is
cool-
not temperature appropriate, like gumbo. Here's a hot bowl of gumbo.
Did they really serve you gumbo?
Yes.
Oh my god! It's like a Maddox joke talking about taking a girl out for a nice hot gumbo lunch as a date. I'm not kidding you. Oh man. Why
Well,
in
we're-
God's name would you
well-
want to eat? I can understand like in a place like Florida, right, where it's hot all the time. You could have like breakfast outside and kind of enjoy the
They also
cool
made us
air
do that.
as the sun rises.
Yeah.
Lunchtime, and maybe even like an evening if you're having a real late dinner as the sun is going down, it might be nice and cool.
Mhm.
But for the fucking lunchtime, lunch is the worst possible time to have a meal outdoors. Like, so I'm taking another glass blowing class this summer, and the class is scheduled because the hot shop is the name may have indicated, hot as fuck.
Yeah.
The class starts at 8 a.m. and ends at 11 a.m. So you're
Good.
in and out before lunch, and you're the first
Yeah.
people to hot the room up, and then you can go fuck off.
Day hasn't even really started.
Exactly. Like since we're doing this renovation at my work, I was like, well, we're going to store a bunch of stuff in the dressing rooms, but I really need to keep one of the star dressing rooms open because I'd like to shower at work twice a week. Instead of going all the way home to shower or showing up like an asshole on the plane with you as a sweaty fuck.
Yeah.
I'll show up to work. I'll put together a little toiletry bag of shampoo and deodorant and all that kind of stuff, and fucking show up and have a quick shower and then put on proper clothes and go about my business of working during the day. But like fucking lunch when it's 80 degrees outside in the fucking pure sun, fuck that shit.
Yeah.
In Vegas was, and this is desert, not swamp, but like in Vegas, they have all these patio areas to eat with the misters going 24/7. And it's like, no, I'd eat inside where there's air conditioning.
Yeah.
You would really think that by this time, either Florida or Las Vegas would have developed the like giant glass dome that they could just drop over their cities and then pump in cold air and pump out the hot air.
Yeah, yeah.
But no, they don't. Oh, I remember where I was going with the story about the rivers here. So I saw a video about people doing a float trip in Florida, and they're like just in inner tubes. Like we're in rafts or canoes where
Yeah,
I've done
yeah,
floating. They're just in an inner tube, and like there's a gator on the side of a log, like looking at them. Like, are you out of your fucking
That's
mind?
ridiculous.
I would not fucking never go near crocodile or alligator waters. I'm of the mind, let them have their space. They've earned it. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. The swamp is their land.
And then they'll put fucking golf courses on the gator land, and there's there's like that video of guy rescuing his little shitbox dog from a gator. It's like, what the fuck did you think was going to happen when you took your little ill-mannered dog out in an area that you know has gators? They can't be tamed. They can't be bargained with. They're fucking ancient reptiles. They're like the leftovers of the dinosaurs, just fucking sitting there, sunning themselves on a log, waiting for an hors d'oeuvre to walk along with its furry little yappy bullshit, so I can just snap down on it, and it doesn't have to do the thing where they spin themselves like a fucking corkscrew to rip bits off of whatever they're trying to kill. Do you want that to be you, you fucking idiot? I don't think so.
Then you're walking
certainly
around.
don't.
You're walking around with a wooden hand. You know.
Yeah. And, talking, oh no, that's Arrested Development where he's talking about making things into stews.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Apparently they're making a TV series of in the Happy Gilmore universe where Happy Gilmore will appear because we're out of ideas. How does it feel for every major property you've ever loved to be ruined by Hollywood, Tim?
Feels bad, man. I'm just gonna.
Oh shit! Last week we were talking about the writer's strike, and so we were talking about how shitty the signs are. Tony and I have just been like Instagram messaging each other back and forth the terrible signs that the WGA people have been putting up. There was one lady who's like, "I can't do writing for television, so check out my cool shirt," and it was like a cheeseburger policeman from the old '80s McDonald stuff, and it said ACAB on it for all cops are bastards.
Yeah,
I guess including the cheeseburger policeman from the 80s McDonald's commercials.
Yeah.
It's like, what an amazing joke.
Bet she writes for the Mindy Project.
The Colbert Report.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Speaking of swamps, those wise talking meatball surgeons, they live in a swamp.
Nothing.
You never not a MASH fan.
I've seen like a handful of episodes.
Well, I thought you would have known that at least they live they call their tent the swamp.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, swamps are bullshit. We should really vacate a bunch of areas we don't necessarily have to vacate these areas of the U.S. I could maybe see going with Florida as Homelessville or the swamps of South Carolina or the swamps of like New Orleans or Louisiana. Just wall off. Do you know what? Just wall off the southern United States.
Like you're under sea level.
Yes.
How does that work? How does that work?
Well, the areas around them are above sea level. And they have the levees. Remember, John Denver wrote a song about it, about the levees being dry and all that.
I thought that was John Bonham.
No, it's John Denver because he's full of shit. Because we were there when Katrina made those levees get wet.
Yeah,
Led Zeppelin saw it coming. He had a forecast.
Right.
Yeah, he said if it keeps on raining. Anyway, well, that brings us to the middle of our episode, which means it's time for.
This episode is brought to you by
He's a black-faced lawyer.
News Network. I'm calling the police. 2 if you count the cows.
Well, we got a new segment for you. It's called News Off. Tim brought some news this week. I brought some news this week. So you want to go first?
Oh, I thought you were going to read my news, and I was going to read your news.
No. That's a circle news. This is a news off. We're trying to get our news off before the other guy gets his news off.
Yeah. My first news story comes to us from Hollywood, Big new Hollywood movie coming out pretty soon called The Pope's Exorcist. Tab, have you heard of this film?
Yeah, I know Fat Russell Crowe's in it, which is
Fat
just regular
Russell
Russell
Crowe
Crowe at
is
this
in
point.
it. Yes. And it looks. I saw the trailer for it. And it when I went to the movies a few weeks ago,
Mhm.
and I said this is either going to be like a sleeper hit, like it's going to,
Unhinged.
yeah, or it's going to be absolutely terrible in best way possible.
Okay,
It's
That's
one of those
what- a
movies
lot of
where
people
it's-
seem to be having that prediction.
Well, like kind of like Unhinged, where like Unhinged could have been really, really bad.
Yeah,
You know.
but could have been really, really good if he had, fucking killed that woman.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Anyways, so Pope's Exorcist is coming out soon, and someone has noticed maybe a little hiccup in the production of the movie. There's a shot of there's a shot in the trailer when they're talking about the Spanish Inquisition, and they're like, "That's the logo of the Spanish Inquisition," and it's like carved in a ancient rock.
Mhm.
I don't know if you know what the logo of the Spanish Inquisition was, Tab. Are you familiar?
It's those like four guys, and they pop out and they say, "No one expects the Spanish Inquisition."
Yeah, it's the Monty Python skit. Yeah.
yeah. That's what I know about the Spanish Inquisition, Tim.
Yes. Well, so the symbol for the Spanish Inquisition is an oval with a cross in it and like a birch tree limb and a sword. Don't ask me. I'm not religious.
Okay.
Ask Buck about this.
Ask Chaco about this; he would know.
Sure, whatever. But it's very different than what is in the movie. In the movie, it's like an eye with a bunch of tentacles coming from the eye and a sword stabbed through the eye.
Okay.
That's because whatever intern was on the production team that got the job of like, hey, we need you to make the Spanish Inquisition logo on this rock, just went into Google and typed in Inquisition logo and got the logo from the video game Dragon Age Inquisition.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
I should turn these flags into like some monstrosity of a flag. Most people don't see this but I have a hidden flag behind me. Wait. That was
Bam.
for you, Tim.
Thank you.
Actually, of the two of us, I'm the more Klingon now.
Yes. I don't know if did you talk
Yeah,
about
I
that?
showed it last week.
Nice.
It itches like a motherfucker this week.
I bet. Did you tell them what it says for those that the uninitiated?
It says Kapla, which is Klingon for success.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
No, you know that's not what it says.
What does it say? It says peace or something.
It says Dolly forever.
That's the one I got on my chest. It's like,
Gotcha.
and it's backwards so I can see it in the
Yes.
mirror, like John G. raped and murdered my wife, but it says Dolly forever in case I ever get amnesia. Have you seen Air yet, Tim?
I have seen the bit you were talking about, and I can't believe in the year of 2023
I
this
can't believe
happened.
it either. But like, so I think Base Brian messaged. He like adds me on Discord. He's like in Air at 2 minutes in. There's a clip from Rhinestone, and then I get to work the next day, and someone's like, "Hey, have you seen Air?" I'm like, "No, but I know about the Rhinestone clip." Joel Chaco does not know what the logo of the Spanish Inquisition is. That's embarrassing.
Yikes!
Ugh.
He lives
Call
there.
the
Come
Pope
on.
on him for that
God.
one. It shocked me too. It wants to be found. It wants to get out
wants
there.
to get out there. The same way that
It's like Jumanji.
the same way that like we've been waiting for years for Outlaw Johnny Black to come out.
Yes.
And then I watched Buck and the Preacher, and the next day they put out the trailer with the release date of the movie for this year.
Yeah.
Nuts. Buck and the Preacher is basically
Well, Johnny Black is kind of
yeah
based
yeah.
on. Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's like Jumanji, but instead of hearing the drums, you just hear. Well, you do hear the drums like
Yes.
congas of the drumming on Dolly's breasticles,
Yes.
but you also hear the yodeling. Yodely-dee-dee-dee-dee. Anyway, all right. Is that your news story?
That was my news story.
Well, I've got one. I've got one for you, Tim. Are you cut?
Am I what?
Are you cut?
No.
All right. An organization that opposes all male circumcision
that-
circumcision is
that
protesting in Grand Island today.
Gotcha.
The bloodstained men and their friends is protesting, and it gives the address. People's reactions to us are mixed. Spokesman Harry Gierman said about how his organization's protests. People are mostly positive, but sometimes people want to pretend we're not there. Kind of like your foreskin. Gierman said Bloodstained Men and Friends was formed in 2012 in response to an American Academy of Pediatrics policy statement on circumcision. According to Publicity advancing the protest, demonstrators employ an attention-grabbing aesthetic featuring men wearing white bloodstained slacks to drive home the group's opposition to male circumcision. It is 2023, Tim.
Uh-huh.
So on the one hand, you see a guy wearing white slacks and he's got a red spot on his junk, and you're like, that guy opposes circumcision. On the other hand, you're like, maybe that guy's just getting his period and forgot to bring his male support tokens or whatever.
Yeah.
The public will be reminded that babies whose genitals are mutilated as infants grow up to be men who are speaking out about what was done to them, and they put them in parentheses, before they could defend themselves, according to the Bloodstained Men's press release. Yeah, I mean, I'm wholly against circumcision. I think it's the official policy of here's what I don't get to be against circumcision. So, yeah. Anyway, what's your next news story, Tim?
My next news story comes to us from Colorado, specifically Springfield, Colorado. Look, when you're drunk, a lot of weird things come to your mind.
I feel like you're
Right.
personally attacking me, Tim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking in general. Like sometimes you're drunk and you get back to your hotel and you don't have any food except like for a packet of instant mashed potatoes, but you don't have anything to put it in. But then you realize that you have a coffee maker in your room and you've got water and you use the coffee cups to make instant mashed potatoes and you eat that for dinner.
Is that a true story?
Maybe. Well, this guy had a weird idea. This guy was driving Colorado and he was a little tipsy, and he did the thing that like he thought that like everyone sees like in cartoons and they think will work, where he tried to swap with the passenger.
Oh yeah. We've
The
yeah,
problem,
we've seen that.
yeah. I mean, all the time, right? Except the passenger was his dog.
Oh man, did
Yeah.
the dog vouch for him?
Oh, absolutely. The
Yeah.
dude, he was a total bro. Total bro.
That's a good dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, just imagine that thought process, right? He's like, he's driving, he sees the lights flashing,
Yeah,
he pulls over, puts the car in park, and he's like, "Man, you have to pretend you were driving."
Yeah.
And then like he's kind of halfway in between,
Uh-huh.
kind of squatted up, and the officer comes up, and he's like, the dog is there looking at him and looking at the owner's ass up in the passenger
Yep.
seat. Sir, were you driving this car? No. You sure about that, sir? I've got one. We've all heard about being forever alone. Or no, sorry. We've all been, on the online dating scene now, and you're talking to a girl, maybe you got it a couple times, and then boom, you just hear nothing from them ever again. Got
Yeah,
ghosted.
ghosted. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, earlier this spring, a man in Peru, the land of handle breaking, was found with human remains estimated to be 600 to 800 years old inside a food delivery bag. When authorities found him, they asked what it was, and he said it was his spiritual girlfriend. Although the mummy is believed to be male, the man said he named it Juanita.
Nice.
So this man has been carrying around a skeleton of another man, presumed male, because your bones do inform what gender you are.
Yeah.
but he's been calling it his spiritual girlfriend. This might be the saddest, most lonely person on the face of the planet. Like you couldn't be a normal guy and spend $1,000 on a sex doll. You fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
How do you even like? Do you think there was a meet cute? You know, he's like in an ancient temple or something like Indiana Jones, and the mummy kind of like falls out and hugs him. It's the first physical contact he's had with a human being in years. And he's like, "I love you too, Juanita Bones."
I was speaking of ghosts and ghost encounters.
Holy shit! You just got real weird.
I had a ghost encounter last week.
Yeah,
in Tampa.
Yeah.
I was sleeping.
Did
I was
go
asleep.
To the Cuban Club.
Yeah. No, I was asleep in my room, and I wake up in the middle of the night, like 3:30. I go to the bathroom. I come back. I'm trying to go to sleep, and I hear a sound come from my left, which is the corner of the room that has the window and the AC unit and the desk. But nothing like, aside from the window, no way to get in my room. And you can tell if someone's opening a window.
Yeah.
So I'm laying there and I hear the noise of a creaky door opening from that corner of the room.
Okay.
Where there are no doors.
Yeah.
And it's very obviously coming from my room. It's not like it was the adjoining room's door opening. It was loud enough that in a completely quiet room, I could hear it. I heard a door opening. And, well, let's just say you know what happens in the first Ghostbusters movie.
So you were visited by a ghost door?
I imagine it less like a ghost door and more of a demon leprechaun, is what I imagined.
It's the ghost of a hotel that was in the same spot where your hotel was.
Yeah.
Well, I've got one last news story here from Chicago. Now, what's your opinion on Subway?
The
food
place?
Yeah.
It's a place to eat a sandwich if you don't like sandwiches.
Yeah. We have Bill and Ruth's in Tulsa, so
why would you ever go to Subway when you have a Bill and Ruth's?
Fucking exactly. And so there's a Subway in the building that my theater is housed in, and everyone caves eventually and goes and eats at Subway. Like you're in tech, you just need time, you cave and you go in there and you get that Subway sandwich. I think the longest streak that anyone knows is someone went 4 years without eating Subway. And I started thinking about it, and I don't think I've ever eaten a Subway sandwich.
What?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever eaten a Subway sandwich, Tim, because we have Bill and Ruth's in Tulsa. Why the fuck would I eat at Subway? Well, a man in Chicago really loves the Subway, and he robbed 2 Subway restaurants on Wednesday night, just 2 weeks after getting out on bond for allegedly burglarizing a wireless store near his home. But in one of his holdups, he asked the sandwich shop for all of the bread. Instead of the money, he got all of their sandwich roll bread.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He could have asked for all the cheese.
Yeah, he's being prosecuted. He's been being prosecuted for terrible puns.
Yeah.
He'll likely face life in prison. This is like the true shitness of Chicago, though, right? Is like the guy's robbed a bunch of places, and then they let him out for 2 weeks. He's out on bond, and he's like, "Oh, I guess I fucked up by trying to rob those wireless stores. You know what I should rob? A Subway instead." And of course, he immediately gets caught. Yeah, so the cashier thought he had a gun, and when he said he wanted all the bread, the cashier asked him to clarify what kind of bread he wanted. He motioned toward his waist, where the cashier believed he saw the handle of a gun, and they told him to give him all the money. So yeah, they arrested him 35 minutes later. So he was out of jail for 2 weeks and 35 minutes. Fucking idiot.
Yeah.
That's all the news I have. Do you have any more?
I've got one last news story.
Okay.
This one comes to us from the Czech Republic.
All right.
A man in the Czech Republic was found dead inside his room by his parents, who noticed something was suspicious was going on with their son. This incident was detailed recently in the Legal Medicine Journal by doctors from the University Hospital place I can't pronounce in Czech Republic.
Czechoslovakia.
That one, yeah.
Yeah.
So they knocked on his door. They realized something was wrong when he wouldn't answer. They kept on knocking. They called the fire department. They pried the locked door open, and they saw their son's lifeless body. He was wearing a one-piece women's swimsuit, and his lower limbs, trunk, and neck were tightly bound with plastic straps.
Okay. Like zip ties, I guess.
Yeah, they say that they believe that he was trying to simultaneously satisfy multiple of his fetishes. They say they count in body wrapping, cross-dressing, anal masochism, self-fetishism, and lower abdomen stimulation with an electrical mechanical massage device.
What is lower abdomen? Does it mean penis?
I guess because the autopsy
To me,
revealed,
like lower abdomen is like your belly button down to your waist. Like it's just like.
Well, so the autopsy
like
revealed
my stomach getting-
burns on the skin just above it.
Okay, just above his wiener.
Yeah.
What a fuck it! You gotta stick to one fetish at a time, man. You start doing too many, you end up like David Carradine.
Well, yeah, exactly, right? So they concluded that he died due to accidental fatal electrocution from the device. They also found a strange foreign body in his intestines. I assume you can imagine what that foreign body was.
And he lived in his parents' house?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. When you're living in your parents' house, just stick to normal jerking off. All right? Because you don't, like, it's one thing for you to be in your own home, even a rental home or an apartment.
Yeah, even like a hotel room.
It's even a hotel room, yeah. And you're like doing weird jerking off shit with fucking women's swimsuits and whatnot. But when you're living in your parents' house, you got to stick real vanilla with your jerking off. Because you might die.
Not even French vanilla. I'm talking like pure chemical vanilla.
Yes.
No black flecks anywhere.
No fucking vanilla bean. Like,
no.
Yeah.
No Tahitian beans.
Processed vanilla extract vanilla.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shit. Because you do not want to end up dead and have your parents be like, honey, would you like some? Oh!
Yeah, he was trying to strangle himself. He's got something up his butt. His dick's on fire.
Vibrating his dick. He's burning himself. He's wearing women's clothing. He's wrapped himself in fucking zip ties. Like,
it's
shit,
worst case
man.
scenario.
How much fucking stimulation does your wiener need? He must have been into some real fucking weird porn to need that much to get it blown.
One of those, if you're found dead, one of those things happening, your parents will be scarred forever. But like they can brush it off to the rest of the family. Like the rest of the family doesn't have to know.
Yeah,
it was suicide. Call it right.
Yeah,
or it was some sort of freak accident. But like multiple, I mean, like that's like peak.
What the fucking thing got written about in the news?
Yeah.
No one at your funeral is making eye contact with your parents. You know that processional as they walk by and they're like, "Sorry for your loss." They're like, "Yeah, you have a good time now. You have a good, yeah."
Like they're putting on.
Please never call us.
Is hand.
You know, most of the time they give your parents a hug. They're like, "Let us know if there's anything we can do." It's like, I'm moving to Bangkok. I'm gonna be completely unreachable. I'm changing my phone number. I'll text you if I think about it. Shit, that is some wild shit. Tim Wynn, you win the news off.
Thank you.
You're welcome, champion. Well, that wraps it up for us.
The Ricada News Network, definitely not fake news.
Well, that takes care of our legal obligations this week, Tim. But you know what it doesn't take care of?
What?
buying more women's clothing for our weird cross-dressing, strangling, burning, zip tie fetish. And if you want to help us with our crazy porn addiction, you can visit subscribestar.com/HWIDG, tip.hwidg.com, and patreon.com/HWIDG, which stands for
Here's what I don't get.
which is the name of the show. And over there we have 5 tiers. We have the $1 tier, which gets you early access to each week's episode, and our mini-sodes. We have our $2 tier. We throw the random bits and bobs we do now and again. We have our $5 tier. We do our bonus episodes. Here's what I do get. We drop the hate and talk about what's great. We have our $10 tier. We do our movie commentaries, or you submit a movie. The fans vote on what movie we watch, and we watch and record a feature-length commentary. And then finally, we have our $50 Spite Producer tier, where you get a say in the show. You can ask for a special segment. Someone requested some new channels in our Dealey18 requested some new channels in our Discord for us to handle. And yeah, so we want to say thank you to all our patrons and supporters, big and small, for supporting us on all the different platforms, which we beg for money, because without you, we would not still be doing the show. And without you and our coordinated harassment campaign against Dick Masterson, we would not be the longest running YouTube channel on the See You Next Tuesday podcast network. With him now banned, he was banned today from YouTube for all of his terrible views about women, which we definitely don't have. All of our terrible views are about people with small hats, which is infinitely better.
Midgets.
Anyway, so yeah, thank you to everyone who's supporting the show. Would not be doing this without your generous support. But let's get back into some issues, Tim. Here's what I don't get. When it's not for the user, too many things these days are designed not for the user in mind, but for the company, the thing itself. So, like, a long time ago, you brought in the Valorant anti-cheat. That wasn't something that serviced the user in any way. It didn't help me at all to have your anti-cheating technology on my computer. It didn't, like, make anyone feel better that the people around them weren't cheating, because cheating is like dinosaurs. Life finds a way.
Yeah.
And but it made Valorant look good, and it made them feel good about you not pirating their shit. And that was what it came down to.
Yeah.
But what I want to talk about specifically, something that's not for the user, are schools. So the whole idea of schools are that it's supposed to be for students. It's supposed to like service the students. We're going to like, we all need to pay taxes to pay for schools so that our students can have all the fucking needs they ever wanted met and learn, and we can all live in a society of educated people. And I believe it was San Francisco this week or last week, or it might have just been LA or just California in general, has decided to no longer encourage students who do well at math, so that they can level the playing field with equity and have all the kids make the same make the same math scores. So instead of trying to make everyone reach the highest common denominator so that everyone's smart and understands math, we're going to be the lowest common denominator, which is everyone doesn't understand math at all.
Yeah.
But which is not for the benefit of the students. The only thing it's really in the benefit for is the school districts to go, our math scores are up, because everyone's kind of at the same level. There's no curve setting going on. And it's like, well, fucking, who is this for? And then, why do you want to put your kids in private school? Like, well, because in private school, my kids might actually get fucking taught something. Another thing that really drives me nuts about schools, Tim, what time was our first class in high school? Do you remember? Way back.
8:30.
8:30 a.m. Now I don't know about you. I'm not much of a morning person.
No.
Like, my natural biological clock, I want to be up about 10 a.m.
Same.
10 a.m. is really, if I have a day off and I sleep in, I'm usually waking up sometime between 9 and 10.
Yep.
I have an alarm set for 9:30 on days that I like don't want to sleep all day. But even sometimes, like, my alarm will go off on 9:30, and then I'll kind of like lay in bed and read, check what's going on the Discord, see what's going, like, see if there's any like cool motorcycles on Craigslist. And then 10:15, 10:30, I actually get up and like start my day. And then I do, like, my day will extend past midnight into the next day. Like, I'm up for the same amount of time as everyone, but my day wants to start at 10. And I'm a 30-year-old man. Like, I figured this out about myself. Even at 16, 15, 17 in high school, I knew I really hated being up at 7 a.m. for no fucking reason. Because to be in that class at 8:30 a.m., if you're riding the bus, you're leaving the house 6:45 to get to the bus stop 7:30 and get fucking whisked off to school and get there at 8. There have been dozens and dozens and dozens of studies about school, about education, about the way kids learn, about like there's learning types of people who are touchers, people who are visual learners, people who are auditory learners. Across the board, students do better in their core classes, reading, writing, arithmetic, if it's after lunch in the afternoon. Students' minds are more engaged and working after lunch. They're fucking worthless at 8:30 a.m. When you have the fucking AP tests, AP test scores between an 8 a.m. test and a 1 p.m. test, there's like a 20% difference between those in the same groups of students because your brain as a young person is not fucking up and running. It's like a motorcycle. It doesn't cold start well. You got to like pull the choke and get it kind of, and then you let it warm up, and then you can really rev the shit out of it and go fast, like a weed eater for people who don't ride a motorcycle. You can't just like, and start the weed eater, man. You have to like do the fucking choke thing and change the deal and do that a couple of times and then really get your fucking weed eater working. Kids are the same way. Yet schools are designed across the board. I think middle school started earlier than we did. I think middle school started at 8 on the dot. When we were in high school,
Man,
because they got dropped off first. Our high school shared buses with the middle school that was nearby us, and they got dropped off first. And I think their first class was 7:45. Now, in Oklahoma, in late December and early January, the fucking sun is not up at 7:45.
Nope.
It's still night basically by the time you're leaving for school. It's ridiculous. And so despite all this information about like the way kids learn and things, in my mind, school should be from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. That should be the school day. Like you get there, you do a class, you have lunch, you do the rest of your day of classes, you get picked up or you leave and you eat dinner, and then you have the evening to do homework and stuff. And you have the evening to do nothing because in my perfect world, homework also doesn't exist. But they don't do that because then teachers would be forced to work 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. and not 8 to 5 or 8 to 3 like everyone else. And they wouldn't have that convenient time. And it'd be inconvenient for your parents because they have to find something to do with you from 8 a.m. when they leave for work, for your regular 9 to 5 job, until 11 a.m. when you have to go to school. So schools would have probably add a bunch of early morning daycare bullshit for you to do.
Yeah.
Which that wouldn't be a problem if only one of your parents worked. If you're like the economy allowed for a single parent household to sustain a family of more than one person.
Sounds impossible.
It sounds impossible, doesn't it? Yeah. But like the school is being made for the teachers who are not the fucking users. That's why we have all these professional days and extra days off and planning times and all this shit. And it's like, are we here for the students or are we here for you fucking people? Colleges are the exact same way. College classes are fucking 8 a.m. to 3, 4 in the afternoon.
Yep.
And it's like, oh, you want to take night classes? You need to go to the community college for that's the LD college for people who can't go to like a real university. You need to go get a night school degree, not a college degree. It's like, well, fucking they're still 18, 22, 23 years old. Their brains still aren't they're maybe morning people, but their brains still aren't done cooking the way that a full adult can like force themselves to learn. And you're expecting me to show up to an 8 a.m. fucking lecture about American history, Civil War to present, and retain any of that fucking information on top of having to do 15 other fucking classes. And then it's like, oh, I need to talk to my professor about something. Oh, it's 3 p.m. on Thursday. He's out for the rest of the fucking weekend. Because universities don't exist for the students either. They exist for the fucking faculty to do their fucking stupid research papers and for them to have their cushy ass fucking job and 3 months of maternity leave, and then just fuck off and fuck you, the student. Oh, you're not doing well enough? Maybe you should have paid more attention in class. Like maybe you're just a shitty lecturer. And I'm really tired of this in like the world of the internet is this way too. Like YouTube's algorithm, that content, the content that is on YouTube is not for you. It's for the algorithm.
Mm-hmm.
I don't fucking want to watch any of this shit that I'm watching on YouTube, but that's what's fucking available.
Yeah.
Because no one can make anything else because it won't catch the thing. Because the user is not who this is for. And like Dick getting fucking banned from YouTube. No one has a fucking problem with that. But YouTube needs to be clean for advertisers. Why? I don't fucking want to see advertisers. Do you really think fucking USA Insurance gives a shit about what Dick's saying on his fucking YouTube? Do you think they have any fucking idea he exists? And yet every fucking commercial break on every fucking internet service I have, USAA, hey, were you a serviceman or a thing? You can get fucking car insurance for a low rate. I wasn't. I have car insurance. Fuck off and die. Leave me the fuck alone. That's who fucking YouTube is for. YouTube is for advertisers to clam that fucking cunt flow from Progressive into my fucking eyeballs for the millionth fucking time. She's fat, old, and ugly, and I don't fucking want your car insurance. I would rather fucking smash her head in with fucking Gallagher's hammer than ever spend a fucking dollar on Progressive insurance. Oh, you have better motorcycle rates? Why don't you come suck my dick off? Suck it off, and then you can fucking strangle yourself to death, and they can find my penis in your fucking intestines. You dumb cunt of a bitch. That's who fucking YouTube is for. It's not for you, the user. It's not for you to get on here and watch Here's What I Don't Get. That's not what fucking YouTube is for. YouTube is for Tide to tell you that there's a new Tide that has 60% more fucking Tide in it. What the fuck are these commercials? Like, that's a commercial that is like, Tide free and all business, whatever the fuck, has 60% more Tide than Tide regular less Tide. Tide has 100% more Tide in it than all has Tide in it. Yeah. What the fuck does that mean? I'm so fucking sick of like just being just like a thing that has to be there. It's that Stone Toss comic with the black person, the white person kissing. How does this help us sell burgers? Burgers?
Yeah.
How does this get people watching shit on YouTube? You want people to watch stuff on YouTube? I just thought me and my fat loser friend would talk about fucking Tomorrow Never Dies for 2 hours. I didn't realize that we had to like fucking people were going to watch this shit. But they trick you into thinking, YouTube specifically is like, oh, you need to do this to get and hit these algorithmic points and this and that to like get these fucking people to watch it. Mm-hmm. But then they can just be like, know what? You don't deserve YouTube. You said too many naughty words. You had a little bit too much fun. You're out of here. Fucking Elon Musk is about to hire a WEF woman CEO. Like, well, there goes that fucking platform down the drain again. Because all those people, this cultivation you've gotten of people paying you $8 for Twitter, all those people are the types of people that this bitch wants to ban. So who is Twitter for? Is Twitter for the users? Is Twitter for these people paying $8? Or is Twitter for the Illuminati elite to like fucking talk about their pedophile child sacrifice things? Which one is it? It's like fucking Instagram is that way too. I see these. Instagram is a platform to post pictures. Mm-hmm. And of course it's been perverted well past that. But I cannot tell you how many artists I follow on Instagram that in the last 3 months have posted a post about how they're leaving Instagram because they cannot get any engagement with their posts.
Yeah, I've heard about it.
Because still images are not what Instagram wants to trend. I fucking scroll through here, it'll show you 600 naked chicks. It'll show you every fucking Disney Marvel property that has some fucking stupid 30-second thing of people being like, in the new Marvels, Brie Larson has a new outfit and she's wearing gloves. And I'm like, I could not fucking possibly care less. I stopped caring about Marvel when Tony Stark snapped his fingers and made Thanos disappear. That was the last second that I gave a fuck about what's happening in the Marvel Universe. Problem fucking solved. And yet, it fucking spams my fucking timeline with Star Wars. And it's like Disney is one of the biggest corporations on the planet. And they're getting free advertising from morons talking about like, did you know there's a secret bar inside of Walt Disney's butthole? If you go inside the statue and you turn around 3 times and you show them your like super day pass, you get a stamp on your fucking left nut from this place and your right nut from that place, and they'll give you a free 3 ounces of Fiji water. You're like, wow, that sounds fucking fascinating. Why is this being advertised to me? I have no intention or want to go to Disneyland ever, 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 ever. If you ever see me in Disney World, if I ever post a picture on like the Discord or on my Instagram of me in Disney World, I am being held against my will and sent in the fucking Navy SEALs. Like, why? Why are these things this way? Why? Who wants them? It's not for the people who's consuming at the end. It's for some kind of fucking thing in the middle, and we're all just on the. It's like we're on the periphery of a giant fire, and there's all kinds of shit going back and forth from the people inside the fire, and we're like, hey, can I just get a little bit warm from this fire? And they're like, get fucked. Get absolutely fucked. Get the fuck out of here. Go back to Siberia where you belong, you fucking stupid moron. And I'm tired of it. I'm so fucking tired of it. I'm tired of teachers telling me how fucking hard they have it because they work from 8. They have their kids are a little bit too rambunctious when you woke them up at 6:30 in the fucking morning to get to school on time.
Yeah.
I'm tired of fucking teachers bitching that they have to do all this shit when their day ends at 3:00 in the fucking afternoon and they got plenty of time to go to the fucking post office or pick up whatever fucking piece of furniture they bought while the rest of the fucking world is like, I need to go to the dentist. I need to take time off. I need to take vacation time so that I can use the fucking benefits that my company and I are paying for so I can get my fucking teeth cleaned. Teacher, just fucking schedule that shit. I'll have the 4:00 fucking dental appointment. No vacation time necessary. I'm having a baby. 3 fucking months off. Get fucked. Yeah, teacher, I would like you to explain this math because I don't really understand the way you're explaining it. You can go straight the fuck to detention. Yeah, I'd like to just sit here and read because I understand what you're trying to teach me because I'm smarter than everyone else in this fucking room. Tab, you can go straight to fucking detention.
Yeah.
But that's who it's for. It's for fucking the test scores. I told the people I work with about the way that I failed. I absolutely bombed it wasn't Common Core at the time, but it was whatever the state of Oklahoma's like metrics of
yes.
education were. Our senior year in high school,
Yeah,
we had to take this fucking stupid state mandated test that like measured where you were, and we had taken it in the 5th grade, and we'd taken it in the 8th grade, and we'd taken it in the 10th grade, and I was just like fucking top of the thing every time because I have a very good reading comprehension level. And my senior year, I was tired. I was I was done taking these stupid fucking tests. So I took the test and I got every answer wrong. Every
On
fucking
purpose.
answer wrong
Yeah.
on purpose. And you know what? You know what changed him?
Nothing.
No, there was a change. I don't know if you know this part of the story.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I'm a Paul Harvey, you Tim.
Okay.
So we graduated from high school in 2009,
Yeah.
and we had to take these standardized education tests.
Uh-huh.
And in 2010, the state of Oklahoma required that you pass those standard education tests in order to graduate from high school.
Huh.
Not required in 2009,
Nope.
required in 2010.
Yeah.
Changing state policy, this motherfucker right here. And now you know the rest of the story.
Huh.
Yeah. Because the school is not for me. That should have been like, why do you hate us, Tab? Because you've ruined the last 12 years of my life. That's why I hate you. That's why I hate you. I loathe and despise every one of you.
Mm-hmm.
If I were in charge of the next Holocaust, you guys would all be the first people into Auschwitz. And I truly despise every fucking one of you. And I think that you're all excess people. And I feel that you hate me as a student. Because if you didn't hate me, you would make the system better for students instead of making it what it is, which is convenient for parents to go be dragged to work. And it's convenient for teachers to pretend that they contribute to society. Because that's what it is. Why does school start at 8:30? Well, Tim,
There's one.
Mom
it's a,
and
it's
Dad
a one
has
word
to-
answer.
has to drop you off at work and then get to work. And it takes half an hour to get to work.
Well, it goes back a lot farther than that.
Yeah, farmers.
Farmers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like I think of it as like it's laundry detergent, right? If you bought a laundry detergent and you put your clothes in the washing machine and they came out and they were just as fucking dirty as they went in, or dirtier, you'd be like, what the fuck is this laundry detergent? You get the fucking on the phone, you'd be like, Tide, what is your fucking deal? I cannot believe I spent $6 on this. I spent $6 on this. I'm like, oh, didn't you see? This is laundry dirty agent, not detergent. Oh, I'm an idiot. I'm not going to buy that again. But we did. We've been buying the same fucking detergent. We're getting worse and worse clothes every time. Like you buy Woolite. Like Woolite's whole advertising is like, we'll keep your clothes soft. There'll be no pilling. It'll be all nice. It's like, it costs a couple bucks more. You're like, well, maybe I'll check out this Woolite business. But we're just like, we're buying like fucking, we're just pouring rocks into our washing machine. Just like, this'll get it clean, right? Rocks will scrub. And
The
like,
equivalent of one ply.
why are my shirts coming out with holes and all worn? They're like my shirt is more worn coming out of this washing machine than it was when I put it in there. And that's what schools are doing. Like they're creating kids that hate learning. They're creating like fucking crime. We have like in Tulsa, if your school is north of Admiral, other than one, and you go to high school north of Admiral in Tulsa, Oklahoma, you are in the bottom percentile of graduates in the state of Oklahoma.
Yeah.
If you're south of Admiral, you have a much better chance. If you're south of 61st Street, you're probably in the high category of those. And it's weird that's a thing. It's all the same shit going on. And like the schools don't care. They don't fucking care. They don't care about the students. They don't care about you. All they care about is fucking getting their federal government money. That's why they have the policies like, oh yeah, you can't be when we were in school, you can't be absent more than 9 times. Well, because you'll miss too much class. We'll have to fail you. That's not why that policy was in. The policy was in place because according to the standards of No Child Left Behind, if you miss more than 9 days, you lost the federal funding for that student without a good fucking reason.
Yep.
And so it's like, well, the government's going to punish us. We're going to fucking punish you. Because it's not about you, it's about us. It's about paying all these fucking principals and superintendents and assistants of this and assistants of that. Fucking Oklahoma has 500 school districts in 77 counties. Doesn't fucking add up, man. There are like 7 school districts in the city of Tulsa. It's insane. All with superintendents, all with fucking assistants to superintendents and boards of education, all kinds of other stupid shit. Just fucking funneling money away and then being like, we need more money so we can make the schools better. Well, we've been fucking pouring money in there and nothing's happening. Maybe the approach is the wrong thing. Maybe we should change the time. Maybe we should change the style. Maybe we should like stop fucking taking standardized tests constantly and, actually look at some other metric of what a successful student is. But they don't do that because it's not for the students. It's for those fucking people getting a paycheck. And I hate every one of them. So anyway, that's my issue. Not for the user. I'm tired of things being made not for the person who is supposedly what they're for.
Yeah. Like the students going to colleges don't care about it's the David Schwimmer Hall of Engineering.
Yeah.
Students do not care who David Schwimmer is or why he has a Hall of Engineering. They want that building to just say engineering on it.
Yeah.
But you know who really cares about the David Schwimmer Hall of Engineering?
The group that harvests money for the university. Yeah. Yeah.
I always hated that about universities, man. How all the buildings are named after someone that gave them a lot of money.
I'll give you one. So when I was in college, they renovated one of the theaters, right? It was the Rupel J. Jones Theater. That was the name of the theater, right?
Yeah.
But then they spent a bunch of money to renovate the theater, and someone donated a bunch of money to renovate the theater. So now because it was named after one of the original deans of the fine arts department, and it was like the family's not giving money anymore, and so this family gave a bunch of money, new money now, and they wanted the theater renamed. So they renamed the theater and they named now the building is the Rupel J. Jones Fine Arts Center, even though there's no signage on the building that says that, it just says Fine Arts Center. And the theater now has the LCC bracket right there as you walk in through the door. Just docks where I went to school if you Google those names. But yeah, it's like at the University of Tulsa, in the theater there, the stage left and the stage right stairs from the house to the stage have family names on them.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't remember what the names are off the top of my head, but it's like the Jesse K. Kirkpatrick stairs and
Stairs.
the
Yeah.
Robert C. Morris stairs, and you're just like,
Yeah.
that's nuts. That is nuts. But that's how they harvest that money. That's who the university is. We only need a new theater so we can throw some asshole's name on the side of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's my issue, and that wraps us up for this week's Here's What I Don't Get. I'm Tab Burt.
I'm Tim the Handlebreaker.
We'll catch you guys next week.
See ya.
If you want to call into the Here's What I Get hotline, call us at 704-750-9434 and tell us what you don't get. Or you can visit us on the Discord under the voicemail upload. We got a couple of voicemails here, and 2 of them are from me. I think this one might be real.
Hey, Dad. Just a clarification on my issue last week about overly elaborate email signatures, where you said, why are you printing emails? Well, these emails, they involve international import, so they need a 5-year retention, including every conversation about them. So all these emails. The problem is, the company enforces a 90-day email retention policy. After 90 days, it deletes your emails. So we have to print the goddamn things and throw them in the file. That's your boomer shit right there.
That is some boomer shit.
Printing out emails.
Just fucking filing cabinets and filing cabinets full of printed off emails about fuck all. And so whatever government thing, right? It's like, yeah, we're going to need to audit this. We're going to need to read all of those emails. They're going to send some fucking intern in there and be like, what a pain in the dick. There's another one. I think this one's from Dead Helm.
Hey guys, Dead Helm here, and I've been watching the Castlevania show on Netflix as of late, and here's what I don't get. Why can vampires only go out during the day? As 21st century science, we know there's a tiny bit of UV light that's reflected from the sun, that's why we see the moon. And that's why, the fucking full moon, whatever, all that scientific nerdy bullshit. But in the show, right, season this one fucking Big Bertha vampire lady wears this daytime armor, and then she tells these other vampires to just get armored up, and then they come out in robes. So why the fuck would you not just wear a sweatshirt outside during the day and vampires just be normal daytime people instead of fucking degenerates that are like fucking hello? Just wear a fucking tunic or something. It's the 1400s. Just go outside and be like, I am a mighty wizard man. Trust me, I am wizard man. I filed my keep down. That's why I look like a vampire. Just say I have cancer or something, Fucking, either way, stay furious.
That always bothered me in Blade.
Mhm.
When they're like, they put on sunscreen, they're like, yeah, it's fucking UV protection.
Yeah.
I was like, no, that's not how it works. And then there's another scene where they set that guy to burn to death, and they're wearing the leather suit, up to the collar suits and the motorcycle helmets with the tinted visor. I'm like, well, if you can just fucking wear sunscreen, then there's no reason to hide that you are a vampire.
Yeah.
Fucking dumb. These 2 are from me.
From you?
I don't get why I'm getting fucking jerked around by Verizon. Verizon, fuck yourself.
Yeah, that was you.
That was me.
Sure was you.
7 hours, Verizon. 7 hours, you fucking cunts.
You on hold for 7 hours?
No, I transferred my number to Mint Mobile.
Yeah.
Because I've had Verizon for a while, and they raised my price again, and I was like, you know what? I'm paying more than $100 for this, and I can't. I shit you not. The the image messages I get from text look like shit. They're 30 kilobyte compressed all the fuck images. So I'm like, well, I'll fucking try Mint Mobile, because at least if I'm getting shitty picture messages from Mint Mobile, I'm only paying $60 for 3 months. So I go through this fucking elaborate process of transferring my number to Mint Mobile. You got to get your account number and your billing address, and then you can't use your account PIN. You have to generate a new PIN to put in to be able to transfer your number. So I go to the website and I like transfer my PIN, and I click the button, and I get this little wheel thing, and I'm like, okay, well, I'll do something else and come back a few minutes later, nothing. So I try it from my phone, fucking get the wheel thing, set my phone down, go do something else, come back, fucking nothing. So finally I end up calling, get through to a guy. The guy is like, well, why do you want to leave Verizon? I'm like, look, man, I'm getting shitty service. I'm fucking getting terrible text messages, picture messages, and I'm paying a outrageous amount compared to like fucking literally any other platform. And like I did the thing where you pay for your phone for 2 years and that's your contract, right?
Yeah.
Well, that ended months ago, and my rate stayed the same. And I was like, well, where's the fucking discount? Because the phone is now paid for. Like, oh, we actually changed your plan 12 months in to this new thing and waived the cost of the rest of the phone. So you didn't notice that change because the amount stayed the same. It's like, well, that kind of seems like it might have been a fucking scam.
Yeah.
And so pretty well over their bullshit. And so I started the transfer at 7 p.m. It went through at 2 in the morning. It finally transferred my number rather than just being instantaneous when I went from AT&T to Verizon. Because the other thing was like, I'm like, what do you think is going to happen? You think that if you jerk me around enough, I'll just be like, I guess I'll stick with Verizon. I can't generate the PIN code. Womp-de womp. Or that I'll just give up my phone number. I've had the same fucking phone number for I don't even fucking remember how long. I've had the same phone number for forever. Yeah. I'm keeping it's my fucking phone number. The fucking FCC says it's my fucking phone number. You have to release it. Fucking making me jump through a bunch of stupid bullshit is not going to fix it. So I was really pissed off with the Verizon last night. I'm glad I left. Fuck them.
Hi, I'm calling the Choco Bucket Gas Pizza Plaza. I'm not here to place an order. Rather, I'm looking to see if I'm looking to see if there's a way that you're currently hiring people. I would like to work. I look forward to working at your place here so I can actually look forward to paying my house. That house, like, I hate being homeless, and I like to live in a house at some point. Hope to look forward to working at your company soon. But until then, change! I need change right now!
You can apply for a job at hwig.com/careers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I should actually make that page do something. Like you fill out a thing. Vampires should just listen to Baz Luhrmann. I don't know who that is.
The movie director.
Yeah, that's probably true. Oxmed live stream probably was something stupid like if we keep his number for one more day, we get an additional 47 cents. So keep it for another day. That's probably why I went through at 2 a.m. Yeah, it's like you got the 16th. You had your phone working for 2 hours on the 16th. You got to pay us, fuckers. I was so fucking irritated. The nice thing about Mint Mobile was they gave me a fake phone number for like those 5 hours, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So I called our voicemail to see if the number had transferred. Because I could make a call, leave a voicemail, and then go into the voice and see my call and be like, that's not my number. Should I give out the fake number they gave me? See if they give it to someone else?
When you turn on your phone, is there a video of Ryan Reynolds naked dancing for you?
There is not, because my phone is unlocked.
Gotcha.
It's just a T-Mobile phone now, basically, but for $60 for 3 months. I did learn an interesting thing about. I didn't go with it because of Ryan Reynolds. I went with it because my coworker has Mint Mobile, and he has a year-long plan, so it's $200 for a year of service. And I was like, that sounds pretty fucking good. But apparently Ryan Reynolds, what he does is when something starts to get big, he just goes and finds a small company and buys it, and then advertises the shit out of it until it like really gets a good market share, because he has like Aviator Gin. There's a bunch of they went through all these companies that he's bought, and then he sells them to someone else now that they have a big market share for way more than he paid, and that's why he's a billionaire.
Oh, that's how all the celebrities. That's what all the celebrities do. The Rock and Yeah, all of those guys. Yeah.
No, The Rock does it through pure talent, Tim. Don't you ever fucking shit talk The Rock on this show.
Okay. I had his tequila.
Does he really have a tequila?
He has a tequila, and I had two. I had his tequila, and I had some Patron. I did a side by side taste test.
Yeah, and they both tasted awful.
His tequila was much better though.
Was it really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but you like Terry Bradshaw's whiskey though, so
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. That's it for the week. That's all of our voicemails. Thanks everyone for calling in. Be sure to like and subscribe. Get us to grow bigger and bigger now that Dick has been banned from the YouTubes, as he deserves. For
Eventually,
being a bad man.
we'll get it too.
I should do a Mad Cooks video about him getting banned. Like, dude, I did it again. I'm nothing but winning. It only took 10 years. 10 years, you've finally been defeated. You fuck. All right. Catch you guys later.